basically what happens is they took a bunch of mice. They would they would feed them. They gave them all the food and all the water in the world. So basically, their survival necessities, all the necessities they needed, they had. So they didn't need
Yeah.
to go and search or hunt or anything like that. So at first they would meet and then they would mate and breed
Yeah.
in large quantities. So eventually they everything was kind of normal in a sense. It was predator free, so they didn't have to worry about being killed
Yeah.
or anything like
So they're pretty much like in a like safe cage or like
that. Exactly.
yeah,
All the
yeah.
food
Yeah,
given,
exactly.
and then what would happen is eventually it would level off. And when it reached a certain point, and I can't remember what the number was, but what they're saying here is eventually it would level off, and the rodents would develop either hostile or cliquish or passive antisocial behaviors. So basically, they reached a certain point in their life where there was enough people, and there were certain people who started to withdraw from the other crowds, and then eventually they became like they almost created like little gangs and divided each other up. These are mice, by the way,
Yeah.
and then they became hostile. So basically, what the experiment was meant to prove, or what they reference it is that basically this is how our society will eventually go, and is in a sense happening as we speak. So
Oh yeah, that is so true. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's
just the world right now. Countries with countries, countries against countries, you know?
exactly, and
It's
not even
happening.
yeah, exactly, and not only that, like I think about. I was just talking with my team the other day about it. Like before, like during when COVID was happening, what was online, right? And I always talk about this: Stop Asian Hate, Black Lives Matter. You know, I don't know more was before that. Like all these different racial things that kind of divided us in such a different
Yeah.
way. And it's weird because I saw this come up on my feed one day and I go, holy shit! Like, it is changing the social status. It is changing everything.
That is
And
so true. Oh my god.
the other day I said to somebody, I go, like, it's kind of like how vaccinations are in our world right now. Like you cannot, like, for instance, Black Lives Matter. Everybody put like a black square on their Instagram or
Yeah, or
whatever.
just a black
So
profile picture or
that,
whatever.
that's right. And it's interesting about that because a lot of people basically you had a choice to either participate or not participate.
Yeah,
Nobody
exactly.
would get mad at you if you didn't put up a black square.
Yep, yep.
But today, what I was talking about with the vaccination is you have to make a choice. Like they're forcing you to go, okay,
That is so
you
true.
either
Yeah.
are vaccinated or you're not. And if you aren't, like
You could lose your
you're basically,
job.
yeah, you're basically getting
Yeah.
shunned and put in the world. And in a sense, it's creating a lot of this separation. And in the study, again, it's called Universe 25. Basically, it eventually levels off so much that the mortality rate continued to rise. So they ended up killing each other. Like they ended up
Ooh.
going and attacking each other and doing all these weird, like
Yeah.
almost like psychotic
Just like
tendencies.
what's happening today, riots and all that. Police and you know.
Everybody's being and the other part in this that was interesting is the reproductive rate dropped. So
Oh, yeah, yeah.
so they changed how like people thought, and it makes sense because I think about not even my generation but even a younger generation.
Mhm.
And, like I think about some of well, obviously your generation. you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
you're in a good strong relationship, but there are so many people in that generation that's like hookup culture, right?
Yeah,
That's like,
exactly.
hey, we're just trying to smash and we're just trying to have a good time. And hey, I understand, because if you are not quite ready to settle down, then yes, you should enjoy life. I
Definitely,
found
yeah.
though, and I'm saying this even just not necessarily in my life, but from the things I see, like there are people who get lost in that though, like they end up like looking for the best person. It's like, well, you're never going to find the best person if you've had one person who's really good at this and another person who's really good at that and another person. So you almost like try to pick the
Yeah,
best things
yeah,
from,
yeah.
well, nobody can fulfill that perfect image, that you
Exactly, exactly.
fantasized, right?
Yeah,
So I find
yeah.
that that is also part of what's happening with this
Yeah.
study as well. That was interesting. it talked about one group of people that completely like withdrew from all of society,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the only things they did is feed and groom themselves. Like no reproductive, no social
Yeah, yeah.
tendency, no nothing. And I was like, dude,
That
they're
is
talking about
crazy.
me right now. Like, I was a little
Yeah.
upset. Man,
You
I'm
just
like,
kind
are
of pulled
you
out
serious?
yourself the society, and you're just kind of like having your own life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And you know what? Like, yeah, truly, I don't blame people for feeling that way.
There's many things that you could do with your phone, because that's why there's a reason why you call it a smartphone, because it's pretty much just like a small computer, just you could fit in your pocket pretty much.